So I'm here with Chris Clague, who is our Global Editorial Lead on Trade and Globalisation. And Chris has joined us here in Dubai to talk about the trade war between the US and China. And I wanted to ask you, Chris, for our members here in the region, what do you think the potential consequences are for the region of the trade war between America and China?
Sure. So far, the impact has been relatively muted on the Middle East and specifically on the GCC, and I think that's to be expected because so many countries in the region don't have a manufacturing sector; they don't produce physical goods. Nevertheless, going ahead, the region could see a more substantial impact if the trade war escalates, and there are a couple of different avenues through which that impact could flow. One is interest rates. If the U.S. has to accelerate its tightening cycle because of trade-induced consumer price inflation in the U.S., that would have knock-on effects on the value of the dollar, which would then have knock-on effects on the value of or the demand for commodities, which of course is quite important for regional economies. Another aspect of it to keep in mind is that Jebel Ali could actually benefit in the short to near term as Chinese producers and exporters look for outlets in Europe for their goods that are no longer possibly going to the U.S. and those goods would flow through. Many of those goods would flow through Jebel Ali. So I think those are two of the areas to look at.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Chris. That's all now from the ECN.